Very good morning. Welcome to the Using Case Studies as a Qualitative Study Design webinar. I am Hana Sata, your moderator for today, and I'm delighted to be here with all of you. Dear participants, thank you for joining us, and I hope you will stay until the end of the session. The attendance link will be provided at the end, and you will receive your e-certificate via email soon. A friendly reminder to all participants, please mute your microphones and feel free to switch on your camera. You are encouraged to ask questions in the chat box as we will have a Q&A session with our speaker. To begin, let's start our webinar with the recitation of Kitab Al-Fatihah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Ar-Rahmanirrahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Allahumma aftah 'alaina hikmataka wa anshur 'alaina min khaza'ini rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Rabbana atina min ladunka rahmah wa hab lana min amrina rasyada. Now, let me introduce our expert speaker, Dr. Muhammad Hairi Jalis. He is a senior lecturer at UiTM Dungun in the Faculty of Hotel and Tourism Management. Dr. Hairi graduated with a Doctor of Philosophy in Tourism Management from Southern Cross University, Australia. His expertise lies in tourism marketing, particularly in gastronomic tourism. With all due respect, I pass the floor to our special speaker, Dr. Muhammad Hairi Jalis. The floor is yours, Doctor.
Thank you very much to the MC, Ms. Hana Sata, for the lovely introduction. Can everyone hear my voice loud and clear? I'm pretty sure you can see me, but I'm not sure with the audio. Is that good?
Yeah, I hear.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Doctor.
Right, excellent. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. I know it's Friday. Tomorrow is weekend. We are everyone looking forward weekend. Well, unfortunately, we are weekend in Terengganu, Kelantan, and also in Kedah. But that's all right. That's how it is. Well, I'm glad to be here with everyone on this Friday morning. Thank you for your time. So my idea, because I mean, like few minutes ago, I had a nice walk along the coastal area, Surab Beach in Terengganu for about 1 hour. Was thinking about this online sharing session, which is, I think, it's a very smart move and also approach. Thank you so much to Faculty of Hotel and Tourism Management, UiTM Puncak Alam campus, for inviting me and put a trust on me to share whatever I have. I try my very best. Whatever I have is actually from my personal reading, my own reading, and also my experiences gone through undertaking quality research and some of the experiences in a case study approach or research design. So please allow me to share my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, Doctor.
Yes.
Beautiful, thank you. Let's begin. This is a topic for today, which I've chose to share with everyone, using case studies as a qualitative study design. Well, can it be a quantitative? Of course, case study is just a study design. It's just a study design. Okay, it's not it's a strategy in research. I mean approach. It's not like purely if it is case studies meant for a specific research approach. I mean, quantitative or qualitative doesn't necessarily mean that. That's me. And also you can see that my name is Mohd Hairi Jalis. You can see my uh, uh, my beautiful and gorgeous supervisors, Kevin Markwell at the back, my former principal supervisor, and also Deborah Cher. So before I move to the content of the topic, I'd like to make a disclaimer. All the material and information contained in this presentation slide is, and also throughout my presentation, is for general information without any profit and only for the purpose of educational. All right, the material is available in the effort of knowledge relevant to qualitative research and also its application in this webinar only. The material is informations used in this session have been borrowed from, I mean, I get again and obtain some of the material, some of the information from published and non-published research work. If you wish to, if any of you, ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to copyright material and information from this sharing session for the purpose your own, you must obtain an express permission from copyright owner itself. So what is my plan for today's session? So I basically would like to go quickly in a quick brief on what is qualitative research and why conduct qualitative research. Just to give a little bit context on a qualitative research work. And after that, I'll move to the concept of case study and to conduct it. And the role of researcher in conducting a case study. The key elements of case study design, selection of case study. I mean, some of the time, based on my experiences, what I've gone through as an examiner, research proposal examiner, thesis examiner, I realized this is actually the weaknesses which I found as an examiner, where the researcher or the candidates unable to really justify on the selection of their cases. Why they choose certain cases? I mean, as a strategy for their research. And finally, the potential pitfalls and how can this be avoided? All right. So I just want to ask a very quick, I know it's morning, Friday morning. I know it's 10 o'clock, but I still think that it's important to do a very quick exercise. Well, I couldn't see the chat box. Maybe MCs could help me. Which ones the majority choose? So I'd like to ask a question based on what you can see on your screen. Which one can be considered as a research project using case study approach? These are the two topics I've designed for this sharing session. So please vote in the chat box. Which one, topic 1 or topic 2? I'll give you 1 minute. I can see topic 2, topic 1, topic 1. Anyone else who would like to try? Topic 1. Topic 2. Topic 2 picking up more than topic 1. Anyone else?
I think it's topic 1.
Okay, topic 1. All right. That's good. I mean, well, we can see that topic 1 or topic 2 for most of the time topic. I mean, if you ask my personal opinion, topic 2 is I mean, basically it really speak and represent a case study research design. Yeah, I mean, it requires a case study research design more than topic topic 2 is more than topic 1, but
Doctor, your mic.
You are muted.
oh, sorry. All right. Sorry about that. I think if you ask my opinion, topic 2 really case study. It really, reflect case study. It really require researcher to use a case study research design compared to topic 1. But it doesn't necessarily mean you are not you are not allowed, or you don't have the choice to consider for topic 1 one of the objective to if you have one of the objective in topic 1 that requires you to consider a case study research approach or research strategy that could be possibly done in the research. Say, for example, a local cuisine and food related activity as part of national marketing strategy. One of the objectives you would want to examine a specific food festival, local food festival, as your case. That could be, but topic 1 more or less it didn't really require. Really require you to think and put a lot of strategy effort on case study research design as compared to topic 2. Because topic 2 clearly it says the Perak Food Festival. That is a case in 2022. That is a case. Okay. So like I said, let's start with qualitative research. So what is qualitative research and why? What is qualitative research and why we conduct qualitative research? Please don't get so offended, and some of you may be really prone to quantitative work. It doesn't necessarily mean this sharing session really pulling you and pushing you to reconsider, reevaluate your research project. It is just to give you a little bit perspective, a different perspective. Maybe you have in your mind that you have set for your project nicely, you shape your project well, gearing towards quantitative work, but it doesn't necessarily mean that in this perspective, in this session, that really would like to pull you that, hey, come and work on qualitative research. Whatever you have right now is wrong, inappropriate, or incorrect, that you would want to consider qualitative work more than quantitative, okay? So what is qualitative research? Qualitative research is actually the study of nature of phenomena. What we will want to study, the quality, the different manifestation, the context in which they appear, or perspective from which they can be perceived. That's basically qualitative work. We would like to see the name itself, qualitative, quality, the quality of the phenomena itself, the story behind the phenomena. We would like to understand more. Would like to have a deeper understandings on a specific phenomena that we are investigating. Well, they have different people. We will interrogate. We will encounter with different people who are experiencing the same phenomena, and they have different experiences and different perspective, or we call different manifestations. So they provide us with all these manifestation. They provide us with various contexts that we would like to receive and analyze. That's what it means by qualitative. So the rule of thumb in qualitative research generally includes data in form of word, which is mean people voice. What is people voice? Our voice, the voice, our opinion, our idea, experiences, all right, including regardless of whether it comes through from verbally, orally, you speak to someone, or you write something. This is what we call epistemology, socially constructed, something that being constructed by the society, uh, either orally or something that you found on a written forms. Like some people must have done something people's voice doesn't necessarily come out from their mouth. It can also from the brain to their hands, and they write something. Their voices on piece of papers, etc., etc. Why we need to conduct qualitative research? Because some research question or some of the objective cannot be answered using a qualitative research method. This is obvious. So what are some of the, if I may ask you a question, how to study and measure this using specific measurement or tools? That's what it says. Some of the research question and objective unmeasurable. I mean, you can't just go with a questionnaire or any statistical figure to measure it. Like, how are we going to measure on aspiration? How are we going to measure on a peace? And are you going to say that you should follow your intuition? How are you going to measure on your intuition? Well, last 5 minutes, I have different intuition, but right now, in this seminar, I have different intuition. I have the different feeling. So which are you asking me to rating my feeling right now? How are you going to measure someone's belief on a religious perspective? How are you going to measure my level of spirituality? So these are the things that we need to also think of as the researchers. Which approach that appropriate and most appropriate for a specific study or research project? Now let's move to case study research. What is case study? The concept of case study research and why case study? So let's look. Case study is a qualitative research approach that extensively investigates a particular organization, event, person, or community, a group of people within a defined time frame. That's what they mean by the keyword here, and extensively investigates. That's what people always believe and understood. When you employ a case or a case study as a strategy for your research project, so you can't simply do it on a surface. You have to do and understand the case 360 degree. I mean, extensively investigate and report to us and discuss about the case. It's not like pick and choose and that's it. I want to do this case study, etc., etc. Okay, so the study must be extensively, I mean, the case itself must be extensively reported, investigated, okay? It involves a comprehensive examination that provides profound perspective on a topic, on a specific research project. You don't want simply because I just want to do it. That's why I choose a case study, because I think nobody has done this before for this project. That's not the idea of adopting or putting a strategy for a project just because someone did not employ a case study research design, that you think that case study for this time, for the same or similar research project, we should try this. It's not because of that, all right? Hence, enhancing comprehension. Case study will add more value to, I mean, in terms of the data itself, the findings, to the discussion of a particular research project. Case studies are widely used in a variety of fields, including hospitality and business, education, psychology, sociology, etc., etc. This is common. I mean, if you ask my opinion, when I did my PhD, that was the first time I've tried and proposed to my supervisory team that can I do this? I think, what do you think about focusing on 2 Malaysian local food campaign? And then they start asking me why you want to do this. It's a bit risky there. Do you think that it can help you? You need to consider on, I mean, your research objective and research aim. Look at your research question. How do you see these cases could help you, especially I mean, providing more context towards a specific conceptual or theoretical framework that you propose for your study. does it provide more deeper understanding, or it will contest a specific conceptual work or theoretical work. So those are the things that being advised by my supervisor, that I bring all those feedback to my table and do more reading and think and put a strategy on it, which later on, I came back to them and talked to them. What are the things? Why I choose the cases? I only choose 2 cases, but they are very good. They are very good cases that really help me with my research project. And then there are specific rules and rules that I followed in selecting cases, not just because I'm studying about Malaysian local cuisine, so I think maybe I should focus just one case, not just because of that. Doesn't necessarily mean that some of the food tourism work that I've come across, the scholars don't even focus any of the food event or food festival. Because case studies like researcher and analysts look at a subject in its natural environment. It give you, first-hand experience to researcher or analysts. When they study about that phenomena, they go into that festival or to a person, talks about more and share more about what you are investigating, then you can feel more, you can understand better. They are useful tools for examining complicated and real life situation. That's what I mean. It's a real life situation if you go and pick and choose some of the cases that really to support the findings of your study. This is especially helpful in cases where other research methods are not able to thoroughly understand the subject matter. That's what I mean. But I like to emphasize here what I've said earlier at the beginning of my presentation. In a case study research, multiple methods of data collection are used. Usually, because it is an extensive work, you have to report extensively. You have to study the case extensively and comprehensively. So it requires multiple data collection methods, not just a single in-depth interview, face-to-face interview, because there's people in the festival. So I like to just interview people, the organizer of the event. Not enough. You need to also talk and communicate with the visitors. In the same time, you have to collect if there's any flyers or brochures or posters. And again, what else? You have to also consider whether or not observation could potentially be part of your data collection methods. So those are the things that we need to, because from a single data source to study a case is not enough. That's where, towards the end of my presentation, I'll share with the pitfall and how to avoid all these pitfall. Okay, as it involves an in-depth study. Again, I emphasize it. Case study is actually, it involves an in-depth study of a particular phenomena. You would want to report whatever been discussed in the literature, the case are experiencing or representing that specific phenomena that you're being investigated. A case study is not a method of data collection, rather is a research strategy or research design to study a social unit or to study a specific phenomena. This is what I've referred, one of the good book, the guru of research case study, Yin. If you can find Robert K. Yin books on case study, maybe you can refer this book for about fundamental knowledge in case study. So case study can center on a variety of topics, including, like I've said earlier, person. Who are the persons? Like you're studying about one person, like a prime minister. You study about a specific prominent scholars within your field. say for example, food safety professors, a well-known food safety professors in this world that you would want to investigate about that person. Often the subject will be a person who has a unique trait and or experience. Any case study in a selection of case, that's one of the things that you need to discuss and justify why you choose that person as a foci of your study. So there must be a justification behind the selection of cases. Or maybe you want to focus on a group of people. I mean, examine many social units such as one family, or a cohort of colleagues, or a circle of friends. Or maybe you want to focus on organization, sorry, organization, or maybe you want to focus on specific geographical location, in Perak, somewhere in Perak, there's a district like Ipoh, the big city of Ipoh. You would want to, we might employ to investigate environmental or population fluctuation as well as human activity pattern within a certain area, or finally a specific event or activity. Like I said, what I've gone through with my research project, I focus on a Malaysian local food campaign. So the selection of cases usually in carry out in retroactive manner. I mean, based on what happened previously and serving as required into previous occurrence. Now let's move to a researcher's role conducting case study. We are the research tools. Please remember this. We are the researcher itself as a research tool. A researcher need to be neutral. This is most of the time, not just in case study approach, research design, any of qualitative work. I mean, researchers always be neutral. You need to be sensitive to personal bias. Like I remember my professors in my supervisory team keep telling me, please remember, Hairi, you are Malaysians, have a little bit background of Malay, you must be prone to halal food. But if you go back to Malaysia and conducting this study, you cannot prone to just halal food. You need to also be a little bit open. You cannot position yourself as Malaysian, as a Malay. You think that the government should only promote Malay cuisine compared to other multi-ethnic cuisine. So your study focusing on Malaysia. So you are Malaysians. You are not, I mean, you're doing this as Malaysian, as a researcher, but put yourself on a neutral line. So I said, okay, I understand. So I try my very best, be more neutral, more open, let everything go through me. So I collect every single thing, everything is important to me. All right, that's the first thing. Secondly, maintain physical proximity to research participant. So make sure you don't when you communicate with specific participant, you are not really only prawns and pro to that participant. You just receive whatever they feed you, they share with you. Okay, oh that's good. Okay, that's good. Okay, and then do not comment anything, whatever they've shared to you. I agree with you. I disagree with you. That's offensive. So those are the things that we shouldn't do as a researcher. Demonstrate conceptual sensitivity and such as well-versed with the literature. I mean, before we go, I mean, we've studied, we have some broad idea, context about the case. We don't want to fool ourselves. We go to that case, we don't know why we choose the case. We never study about the case. We never try to at least ask Mr. Google, can I get a little bit information about this food festival? Or ask your interviewees before you go to the food festival. I mean, definitely before you decided to go to, immerse yourself to that case, you have conducted several or a few data collections. So that's where you get a little bit idea what is that case all about. So do that, okay? Be a little bit sensitive. And some of the time you don't, conceptually also important, theoretical and conceptually also important, it will guide you as a researcher. You know what you want, not just you go there, you don't know what you want. You don't know theoretically what has been discussed and found by previous scholars or researcher when they go to food festival. What have they found? What they have discussed theoretically or conceptually. Be insightful, study in advance about person or institution. That's what I said earlier. Perceive a situation holistically, 360 degree. Don't just go one side because I don't eat prawn because I allergic to prawn. I attended this food festival, so I don't want to go to seafood section. That's dangerous to me. Well, you need to take a precaution, but you still need to be there. You need to go to that section because it is part of the festival, part of the event, people celebrating local cuisine. You want to see people reaction, what people talk about, how they cook and prepare the food in local flavors. You want to know, you want to see, and there must be something that you found out of your investigation. Who knows? You will miss something if you don't go to that section. And then finally, you need to have a researcher diary. Everywhere you go, you need to record in your diary. Do a reflective exercise as well, because reflective exercise will allow you, at the end, your data collection every day will allow you to think what you have found, what you haven't found. Do you think whatever you found today good enough? It can help you. The data can help you to answer your one of your research objectives. Do you think it can also answer your one of your research question? It contribute anything to the findings of your research project? We never know. All right. The key elements of case study research, case study design are, but the most important when we deciding why would we consider case study design? The first thing, like I said to you several times, purpose of study or the aim and objective of the study or your research question. Does yours look back your research objective, the purpose of your study or your research question? Is it require you to consider case study design, one of them, or the entire project require you case study research design? So look back into that. And secondly, types of research undertaken depending on the purpose, such as, are you trying to do an exploratory study or just explanatory? You want to explain the phenomena, you want to explore more about the phenomena, or you just want descriptively describe a specific phenomena. And thirdly, a study of single or multiple cases. This is also interesting. Why do you think that if that is one of the purpose of the study, or one of the objective, or one of the research question, you think that it require you to focus on specific case study? So are you going to only do a single, or you will go for a multiple cases? Which is which, and why? Why do you think single case study enough? Providing context and deeper understanding that will help you to answer to achieve one of your research objective? Or why do you think multiple cases is better than single case? So you need to consider that as well. It's not a strategy to impress the examiner. It's not because of that. That's not the idea. It's all about how much a single case or multiple case can contribute data towards the project itself. That's far more important than just trying to say, I don't want to do single, examiner will say something. No, that's not the idea. The nature of the study is far more important. The purpose of the study and the research question important consideration when you deciding whether or not to employ any of case study. And then epistemology, I mean, the way how people acquire the knowledge of the external world. How do you acquire the knowledge? Epistemology, philosophical consideration, okay? So you need to also look back. Are you objectivist researcher? If you are objectivist, then you did not position yourself within the context of qualitative work, especially case study research design. It requires to communicate, to talk with people, have a conversation. You believe that in this world, everything in this world is very interpretive and very subjective. Very subjective. You need to communicate with people. So the best is in case study, in my experience, I am my philosophical research design epistemology. I position myself as social constructivist person. So I believe in this world, everything in this world, people have their own explanation, idea and experience. So everybody have different perception, idea and experience, but they are very subjective. And I believe knowledge can be gained through people when they share with us their idea, opinion and experiences. That's where knowledge can be gained. Um, then look back also on the literature review, what has been discovered and discussed by many scholars when they publish their work, what they think about, have they proposed the next study, what are the limitations of existing study, then what they have proposed to future research undertaking. And then sampling and methods of data collection adopted. So you want to also see your sampling, it involve of a single person saja for the study atau it's involve of a food festival or a specific organization, and methods of data collection. It's just a questionnaire ataupun it requires you to interview and talk to people. It requires to collect more evidences such as archival documents, posters, brochures. It doesn't matter. Today we talks about digitalization. So it was previously a mix of printed version. Nowadays, many of the secondary document or archival document has been digitalized. So you would want to consider all that. And analysis and presentation of the data itself. Now, let's move to how to select case study. How are you going to do this? How are you going to select a case? So again, look back the purpose and research question. This is important. You need to back to the square one, the foci of your study. What is the focus of your study? That is very important. Based on my experience as an examiner, also I've realized some of the purpose, some of the research, it doesn't really require the researcher to adopt or to employ any cases. So I was surprised because some of the study just do it because for the sake of to do it, because they don't understand what is actually why they decide to do this, why they decide to do this investigation, whether or not the purpose of their objective really require them to consider case study research design or not. So please look back. Like for example, one of my research objective that really I specify, I to examine or to identify how Malaysian local food being displayed and presented at a specific food festival. So obviously that objective require me to consider case study design. So that was one of my research objective. Secondly, availability and access of the cases. Of course, before we decide at an initial stage, we would want to also discuss with our supervisory team availability of the case. Well, of course, there's a lot of food festival that I can go to that specific person, but realistically, can you access that person? Can you really interview that person? Do you know his schedule or her schedule? Do you think, can you go to the king and queen just like that? So can you just go to that private event without knowing anyone? Can you access? So that's important, like sampling. Other than that, time and money, you need to also financial sources. Consider your financial sources. Like myself, I have to travel back and forth Australia, Malaysia, and I have to also travel around Australia, taking flight on and off. Same when I was in Malaysia. I have to travel all over Malaysia, West Malaysia and East Malaysia, Sabah, Sarawak and Labuan, 2 times in 365 a year. So I have to travel everywhere and chase people, go to identify, look back the schedule, the food festival schedule, etc., etc. And the next one is either you want to choose single case or multiple case. These are some of the things that you would want to consider if you choose a single case. Whether the case is extreme, why you want to choose the case? Is it because of the case is extreme that can really help you to understand the phenomena, investigate the phenomena? For what is extreme, like has an extreme low or high value on a central variable. If you predetermine in conceptual work, conceptual framework, there's a variable you found, so you will want to see and justify why you choose this study, because it has extreme values there, extremely high or low values in what sense, that really can help you to achieve one of your research objective or one of your research question. Or you want to look as the case is critical, like if it is valid for this case, it is valid for all or many. One single case, it can valid to other cases as well if you choose this case, because it started from here, so I choose this case. If anything happened here, if experiment has been done here, so it represents other cases because it spread from this center point. So that's what I mean by is critical. And finally, is it a typical, an example of phenomena under investigation, whether it's typical case or not? Okay. For what about multiple cases? It is when we say multiple cases, it comprises more than one case. Two or more cases experiencing similar event or phenomena are studied, and the data obtained from the different cases are compared to derive generalizable conclusion. So what does it mean that I have this issue and keep my supervisor keep worrying about me when I decide these two cases, Malaysian food campaign, and they say that, well, Harry, the point is one is focusing on domestic campaign, the other one focusing on international food campaign, and I keep telling them that's not the idea, that's not the purpose of my study. I don't really work on a project that really focusing on international or domestic. My focus of this, my study focusing so much of how Malaysian government utilizing local cuisine as part of destination marketing strategies, regardless international or domestic. So there's only two highly government involved in Malaysia annually. Only these two festival or campaign that government really involved and control. That's why I think these two cases really really suitable for my research project. Then they bought what I've said, because they say, well, that's good. How would you know that they are government highly involved? Because my study focusing on Malaysian government, their involvement. Other festival, other food campaign are basically a private event organizer. They are not highly government involved. How do I know these two food campaign are highly government involved? Because they've been scheduled or in the calendar, government annual calendar. Only these two food campaign being calendared in the tourism campaign. and we can see in a one of the government document being stated only these two food campaign being highlighted in Rancangan Malaysia or Malaysian plan every 5 years. That's what I say. I think I confidently think only these two cases, I mean, really help me providing more data sources for my study. So they say that's good. That's very important. A multiple case study design has greater chance of weeding out data collection errors, prejudices, and produce more acceptable result. So I don't want to do single case. It's not enough. There's always a case of, I think there will be a prejudice and biasness if it's just a single case. So I put a strategy. I think we need to have more than one. And I say I was fortunate because there's only two cases, and why shouldn't I choose those two? I want to choose two. I think I still need to have choose two. I cannot accept one. Either one. So I don't have choice. There's only two. All right. This is actually coming to the last part of my session, the potential pitfall or disadvantages, and the things that you would want to also consider, put in your thoughts, and how can this be avoided? How can you avoid all these pitfalls? Lacking scientific rigor. These are commonly being debated by many scholars. Case study lacking of scientific rigor, replicatability limitation, and providing little basis for generalization, which is true, because you're just focused on a specific cases to understand this phenomena. It's not enough. So you need to go more than that. The more data you collect, the better the finding of the result, the better your understanding discussion for a specific phenomena. So what you can do to avoid all these pitfalls. So researcher, you yourself as a researcher could do data triangulation. That's what I said. You need to adopt a multi-data collection methods, not just a single data collect, not just using in-depth interview, just enough. You need to triangulate your interview findings with observation or a cover document analysis. I did both. I did an interview, I did observation 360-degree, uh, and also I immersed myself as a guest and tourist at that food campaign. I've attended those campaigns inside and outside Malaysia, and then I participated the campaign as a guest, as a visitors, and take photos, talk to people, talk to foreign and domestic tourists. I talk to them as a guest and de-identify myself. And I took photos, I strategized. At first, when I did my observation, before I started my observation, I asked the organizer the layout. So I identified the spots where I should be to take photos. Why should I be there? What kind of photo activity that I like to take, that to so it can triangulate my interview findings. It's the same thing when I communicate, immerse myself into the food campaign, talk to the visitors. What are the things that I like to communicate with them? What kind of expression, face expression I like to record in my diary? And then I also, in the same time, through my observation session, I also collect archival document, some flyers, digital or printed or non-printed, QR codes, and many more. So it really triangulate whatever I found, and from my interview session, and then I triangulate with my observation and also archival document analysis, content analysis, and semiotic analysis. Respondent validation. This is also one of strategy. This is commonly employed in qualitative work. Respondent validation. I mean, once you have analyzed, come up with your preliminary findings, then you would want to send or present to that particular case, maybe a group of people from the particular case. So these are the findings. So you would want to get a validation from that person or from that organization. Is this what representing your organization? Is there anything that I miss or left behind? Is this the real you representing you? So that's what you mean by respondent validation. I did that. I did to the food campaign organizer. When I've come up with my preliminary findings, I came back to them, the organizer, and present to them. This is what I found. This is the findings for my interview session. This is the finding from my observation, and this is from the archival document. So can you see this? I mean, can you advise me if I miss anything out of all this? So they validate my findings. So I will report a case that really represent the real life situation, and transparency throughout the research process. I mean, in reporting your methodology chapter, make sure you show and make everything clear, crystal clear. How do you perform the methods, the step by step, the protocol, initiate anything that you consider to avoid any biasness. Did you obtain ethics approval? Did you also communicate with organizer if they have any specific restriction, etc., etc.? Focus on related components such as either times or space. Be clear with the outside of the scope of the case. I mean, you need to make sure that if you want to go to the case, you know what is the bounding of the case, the bounding of the circle of the case. You don't want to go outside the bounding area. You don't want to go outside the bounding, overdoing it. Don't overdoing it. And then stay focused. And finally, developing in-depth knowledge of theoretical and empirical literature justifying choice made. I mean, why you choose case study design. So you need to understand theoretically or conceptually from the literature. And in conclusions, coming to my last slide, I know everyone, maybe I cannot see the chat box yet. Maybe there's a question there. In conclusion, a good case study should be carefully carried out according to a well-thought research design. So, like I said again, so you need to carefully carry out cases. You don't want to miss every single thing from the case, so that you have to go back. If you're lucky, you can go back to a person that you're studying, but like a specific event or activity that not being organized in weekly, such as what I've gone through, it's just an annual event. If I miss one thing, I have to wait next year uh, to get the data, which is, I don't want to do it. I just want to make sure that I don't miss anything when I attend and doing my observation in interview at that food campaign. So how can I do this? So make sure you well plan what you would want, why you want to go to that case, what you want to do, and you need to well plan and organize yourself. It should also include a thorough review of available literature in the area of interest to find a gap that can be filled by coming up with a sharp question. So the purpose of your research project and also the research question must be compelling, there must be a gap behind it. I mean, there's a lot of research has been done in this area on local cuisine and tourism. There's a bunch of study has been done and published by many scholars, but not many of them really confirm by on a specific phenomena by telling a story, real situation. That's why you think a project need to be done by adopting or employing cases of food festival and confirm what they have found and reported in their research project. And to improve the validity and reliability of case study, like I've said in my previous slide, especially one that tries to explain something. Researchers should come up with a competing idea about how to explain the social phenomena is being investigated. I mean, the detail in your methods, in the methodological chapter, you need to make sure that you can convince and they are compelling whatever you discuss in your methodological chapter, uh, why you choose, how do you do this, why you do this, when did you do this, why you do this again, how you did this, why you choose this case study. And then finally, this way, the researcher can be sure that idea he or she comes up with based on his or her own fieldwork is most convincing, logical, and sound one. So I remember, if you can have time, maybe you can Google my thesis because it's available publicly. My university is so kind. You can just download my PhD thesis publicly from my university, Southern Cross University. So you can see how I report my methodological chapter, the detail that I put forward, the comparison and contrast of different of the two cases, why I choose these cases, what are the similarity between these two cases, why are the similarity reflect and how this similarity could reflect and speak to one of my research objective and really represent my epistemology as a researcher, as a social constructivist researcher. So maybe you would want to get some idea on that. There are a bunch of theses in qualitative and case study research design you can go through and learn more from them as well. With that, thank you very much. I can see 5 minutes. I mean, I'm on time. I hope so. Thank you so much for listening. Now I open if there's any question.
Dear participant, now we move on to Q&A session. Okay, Doctor, there's one question from Faiza in the chat box. Is there differences between case study and phenomenological study?
Of course, phenomena is actually one phenomena, like say example, a phenomena you want to study about a specific phenomena has happened about say for example COVID-19 pandemic is a phenomena. uh, you want to employ about phenomena of a COVID-19 in hospitality, and you choose a specific cases because of one of your objectives to identify and discuss about this to case hospitality COVID-19 pandemic and hospitality employment. So you decided to employ a few or a few more than one cases, so who could help you to provide more context, more data within the phenomena. How does COVID-19 pandemic could affect job employment in hospitality industry? So a phenomena is the platform. The case is actually is just a design.
Okay, Doctor. Next question. Someone from Muhammad would like to ask about an embedded single case study which focuses on multiple subunit with the case. Is the understanding correct that if he wants to study the experience of people attending an established event, example Jam Heboh, in different years, it will be considered an embedded single case study or maybe multiple?
Oh, okay. So you need to go back to, like I said again, to your purpose of the study. Well, sometimes you think that I need to employ or I need to start strategizing by employing specific case or more than one case. So what is the idea or the foci of the study? If you think like by distributing questionnaire, by interviewing people or specific location, because it's just the phenomena just happen in that specific location, you don't have to necessarily focus on cases. You don't have to necessarily do that unless you are actually focusing on a specific phenomena that you would want to provide more in-depth context. Then you decided, say for example, in a state of para, you would want to pick and choose. Many cases happen in Ipoh. Also, you found case happen in Taiping, and also another case happened in uh, I don't know, maybe Tapa. So you choose these three cases to give more or provide more in-depth understandings towards what is happening in the phenomena. So it's depend on the purpose of the study again. And you need to also consider, like I said earlier, whether do you really need a case to answer one of your research question. Do you think you have the access? Do you think you have enough time? You also need to consider on a methodological perspective. Do you think you have that power, the skill and knowledge to work on that? What are the plan in terms of collecting the data itself? Do you think your project extensively require you to do this?
Doctor, there's a request. Someone asked you to share the link of your PhD thesis.
Okay. Oh yeah,
Okay.
sure. I can share. I'll share with um, Madam Puan Madam Mastura. I'll share with her.
Okay. Alright. So last three question. Okay. From Noadila, she asked, can we use only single method which only use case study for our research? Can we use only single method?
Yeah, of course. Single
Okay.
case study. I mean, as long as you follow what I've advised you just now. Why you choose that case, a single case? Is it because it has an extreme value or low? I mean, extreme means low or high incident or variable that can explain and contribute better understanding to what a phenomena, or it has a different uniqueness, or you need to look back. I mean, I can share with you my slide. Look through. I mean, you need to justify, or it is basically if you choose for a single case because you think there are many cases, similar cases, but you think this single case because that's the central point. That's where it started. The phenomena started from this case and it spread. So you want to choose just single case, this case, the main case. Once you focus on this, you get the answer, you get the findings, you report, the findings applicable can be also used in many other cases that experiencing the same phenomena. Of course you can.
Alright. Doctor, last question because the time is quite jealous of us. Okay.
Okay.
What exactly is grounded theory? Can use our ideas as a theory?
Yeah, grounded theory. This is more what do you call it? Philosophical considerations issue. Usually, case study commonly employ in terms of epistemological consideration or epistemological perspective. Commonly employed by researchers who position themselves within social constructivism and or realism. I mean, post positivism. I mean, those are the two epistemology that usually case study. I mean, researcher employ case study in social. I mean, ground theory. I don't think you would want to contest any specific concept, or you want to contest any specific theory, because theory is there. That's why social constructivists and also realist or realism believe they just want to understand and phenomena based on the specific theory concept. So in real situation, is are they the same? That's it. Ground theory is something that you really want to explore. I mean, a phenomena it's happened, but there's nobody has been studied before. You want to come up with a new idea, perspective. So I think case study uh, would not be an option for those who have put up thoughts on a project that produced within the perspective of grounded theory.
I have a quick question. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, sure.
Hi, good morning. I'm curious as to your statement by your saying that do not overdo your research.
Yes.
Can you just elaborate a little bit on that? What do you mean by not overdoing our research? Thank you.
What I mean when I said the bounding of the case, I remember that overdoing your research. I mean, you need to know the bounding, the circle of your research. Do not go outside the case itself. Don't discuss beyond what you have found and data you've been collected for the case. That's what I mean. So you know the circle, you know the boundary, you know this case only. This case only cover this radius about this, about local cuisine, Malaysian local cuisine. It doesn't go beyond that. And the case is about, it's about promoting local cuisine that focus on, a specific dishes, and that's it. You don't want to discuss more than that. Some of the time, some of the cases that I've found, one of the example that if I can share with you, the case is just about cuisine of a specific place, but that scholars or researcher discuss involving of the community outside the case, the neighboring communities outside the case, that which doesn't really directly contact towards the case. There's no connection, and they don't contribute anything. They don't contribute anything to the case, to the food festival itself, to the image of the identity and image of the case. That's what I mean. I mean, you should be able to know, if you choose a person, just discuss about that person as a case. Don't go beyond.
All right. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Thank you, Datin, for the answer, for the question.
All right, thank you so much, Doctor, for answering all the questions. Now, dear participant, please turn on your camera for the photo session. We're gonna move to photo session. Please open your camera. All right, thank you.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you,
All right.
everyone. Thank you for listening.
As we conclude, please don't forget to fill out your attendance using the link provided in the chat box. Thank you to our esteemed speaker, Dr. Mohd Hairi, for sharing insightful knowledge. And to Dr. Mohd Hairi, don't forget to share your thesis, your PhD thesis with us. And to all participants, thank you so much for joining us. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Stay safe.
Thank you,
Enjoy.
Doctor. Very insightful.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
So nanti saya MC.
Ini saya, Doktor.
Nanti saya share slide dengan thesis saya.
Okay, thank you.
Puan apa tu? Kak Puan Surat.
Thank you, Dr. Hairi.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you, Doktor.
Thank you, Arina.
Okay, Doctor. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Madam Alisa, Madam Arina. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, MC. Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you, everybody.
Doctor.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Puan Masura.